the heavens above. So I'll use 3 books, Apocrypha, to try to explain to you what is above the skies, above the blue, above the firmament. So according to the book of Enoch, there are 10 heavens. According to vision of Isaiah, Isaiah was taken up to the 7th heaven. According to Paul and Zephaniah and Abraham, Paul, Zephaniah, and Abraham were taken up to the 3rd heaven. Actually, Abraham was taken up to the 5th heaven when he was shown the stars, and then he was told that his descendants will be as many as the stars. When he was told that, he was actually above the heavens and he was observing the skies. He was not below. That is according to the Apocalypse, or rather the vision of Abraham, because Abraham also had the vision of heaven. That's why he was called friend of heaven, friend of God. Anybody who is called a friend of God, God was very close to him, and God could show him or her the mysteries of the universe. So let's start with the book of Enoch, because Enoch, according to his writings in the Ethiopian Bible and the Bible at the Vatican, the ancient books at the Vatican, and the books that were recovered from the Kublan caves, the Dead Sea Scrolls, Enoch saw the 10 heavens. And this is the nature of the 10 heavens. So I'll relate the knowledge of Enoch and the knowledge that is obtained from the book of vision of Isaiah. So according to Enoch, let me just summarize this. There are 10 heaven aboves. If you want more clarification, you can just talk to me in the inbox, in the text. There are 10 heavens above. The first heaven is the heaven that we see, the air. That is the firmament, the waters that is here. And this heaven is ruled by a prince, and that is the fallen angel who was the former cherub, the one who wanted to go higher. Initially was from the 6th heaven, but he wanted to raise his seat to the topmost, that is above God's throne. That is the 7th heaven or the 10th heaven above. So he was thrown down to earth, and now he rules the lower realms, that is Baal-zebub. And in the lower realm, there are chaos. There's no order. Each prince, that is where they are prince. If you read the book of Deuteronomy, you'll realize that when God called the people of Israel through Abraham, he became their God, and he left other nations to the constellations, or rather the Mazzaroth, the 12 zodiac signs. That's why other nations were worshipping other gods, or rather the gods of the zodiac. So that is the first heaven. It is ruled by the prince of air, who is Baal-zebub, who is Satan, who is the accuser. Sometimes he flies to heaven and accuses. That is according to the book of Job, according to the book of Kings, etc. Then there's the second heaven. The second heaven now lays on top of the first heaven. And the second heaven, you can see a very great sea. That is according to the book of Enoch. The sea is greater than the sea that is on earth. That is the waters above. The waters that we see when Ansonant send their rockets up. You can see the rockets skiing in the skies and falling back to the ocean. Then there's the third heaven. The third heaven is the most interesting part. But before I explain the third heaven, there's something that I've forgotten. Now, if you read the books of Solomon, because Solomon is wisdom, he was also shown the heaven. Each heaven has a star that governs it. And this star is controlled by a prince. So for you to enter these heavens, you need a passcode. And the stars that controls these heavens, the first heaven is controlled by the moon. That's why the moon is so powerful. And when it's dark, that is the new moon, and when it's very bright, there are things that happens on earth that if you're very keen and you're observing the moon, you will notice them. You'll notice women or other men behave differently during the full moon and during the new moon. That is the first heaven. The second heaven, that is the same place where the angels that rebelled during the book of Genesis 6, when the sons of men cohabited with the sons with the daughters of men, they are jailed in that heaven. And that heaven is controlled by a planet known as Mars, under the angel Uriel. Then there's the third heaven, which I was talking about. The third heaven is under which is it? Mercury. Mercury. So it's very interesting that the third heaven is divided into two. There's the Garden of Eden on this other side, the paradise, and on this other side, according to Paul's description, on this other side, and even Enoch, there is a place of great torment. The same place that Jesus was describing when he was talking about the parable of the rich man and Lazarus. Lazarus went to paradise in the bosom of Abraham, and then the rich man went to a place of torment, that is in the third heaven. So Jesus was not just giving a story, he was describing a real place described in the book of Enoch and the book of Zephaniah and Apocalypse of Paul. So you should read these books and you'll see these places. Then there's the fourth heaven. The fourth heaven is greater than the first three heavens. And in the fourth heaven, that's where the sun rules. So the sun is a star that is situated in the fourth heaven. So this is a place where our spirits of pride and beauty, because the sun is very beautiful. It's not yellow, by the way. If you look at it, it's a very beautiful star. It's so pretty. God created a very pretty star. So that's the fourth heaven. It also has a magnificent beings that of electricity that can reveal to you things. Then there's the fifth heaven. Now the fifth heaven is where Jupiter rules. This is the place of philosophy. So if you want to understand philosophy and everything, is the spirits of Jupiter that enables people to understand philosophy. That's why the Greeks, who are philosophers, worshipped Jupiter through Zeus, and the world still worship. Yeah, because Zeus was a fallen angel who came from Jupiter. So that's it. Then we have the sixth heaven, Venus. The sixth heaven is ruled by Venus. Venus is the star of Beelzebub, the star of Lucifer, and he rules on Friday. That's why on Friday people tend to misbehave and do everything, because that's the star of Lucifer. His energy rules that way. He was in the sixth heaven, but he fell down. But the energy is still amidst them. Then the seventh heaven. Before it goes to the seventh heaven, according to books of Solomon and the Talmudic effect, magic of this world works. The magicians, they borrow their magic or their energies that they use to manipulate things in this world from the first to the sixth heaven. Because after the sixth heaven, there is the seventh heaven where the great glory dwells, where the Lord dwells, where Jesus came from. The Messiah, the anointed one, the Yeshua, the Prince of Peace, he came from the seventh heaven. And the seventh heaven rules on Saturday and is ruled by Saturn, planet Saturn, not Saturn the accuser, planet Saturn. So this is where Jesus came from, and the power of God dwells here. The glory of God dwells from the seventh heaven going up to the eighth heaven, where now they are the two great princes who are brighter than the sun, but Jesus is still above them. Christ is still above them, but they're brighter than the sun. The two angels that control the night and day, the light and darkness, the yin and yang, the Urim and Thurim. If you want to know about the Urim and Thurim, read the book of Exodus, the book of Leviticus, and you'll understand God's instruction concerning these two stones that the priests were using to know the will of God. They were acting like radio wave. You throw them down like gambling, and then God speaks to you. But if you are not following God's will, God will not speak to you. If you read the story of Saul, you'll understand that. Then there's the ninth heaven. Now, according to the book of Enoch, the ninth heaven is very interesting. The ninth heaven